Good day. My name is Amos Batu, and I am a mechanical engineering student of the University of the West Indies. In this presentation, I will discuss the case study of the crash landing of the DC-9 plane on Flight 751 to you, the general public. In order to do this, we must ask, what exactly happened during that incident? How did it happen, and what was the aftermath of the incident? On December 27th of 1991, the DC-9 departed from Stockholm, Sweden to fly to Copenhagen and then Warsaw, Poland. On that day, the DC-9 was piloted by Captain Stefan Rasmussen. Before departing, this captain requested the ground staff to de-ice the plane a second time. 25 seconds after departing, noises and vibrations were coming from engine 2. The captain proceeded to decrease the throttle in the engine. This resulted in the power to increase in engine 2, leaving Stefan confused. To make matters worse, engine 2 then failed 76 seconds after takeoff and is preceded by the failure of engine 1 2 seconds afterwards. In less than 90 seconds, the plane begins to freefall, and an attempt to restart the engine erupts engine 1 into flames, and power for the instruments were lost. The fire was extinguished, leaving the plane to continue free-falling. A pilot, who was a passenger that day by the name of Holmberg, entered the cockpit and was able to initiate the auxiliary power, which re-established communication to control tower. Captain Stefan Rasmussen disregarded control tower's advice and kept a straight course, which led him to crash in a forested area where he was able to use pine trees as a cushioning. One may ask, how did it happen? Firstly, on decreasing the thrust on the climb, a system known as the automatic thrust restoration was engaged. The pilot was unaware of the system, which increased power during the ascent. There was a buildup of ice on the wings of the plane, which became loose after takeoff and damaged the titanium blades of the engine, causing a loud noise after takeoff and failure of the engines due to obstruction of airflow. This shows poor safety checks were done by the ground staff, but there should also be some blame on the captain, as it is his responsibility to ensure that safety checks are carried out properly. The following is a video which shows why the engine 1 caught on fire.
Jet engines rely on a steady stream of air for combustion. A series of fans move incoming air through various stages of compression. But when that flow is disrupted, fuel at the rear of the engines ignites violently and shoots forward.
When engine 1 erupted into flames, it caused a power failure, as now only engine 2 was generating power, but either way, engine 2 was rotating too slowly to have any effect. This caused the communication failure to the control tower. Now on to our last question. What was the aftermath? Firstly, Scandinavian Airlines improved their safety check procedures and made it mandatory for the wings to be touched to ensure that there was no ice on them. They also trained their pilots to use automatic thrust restoration to ensure another event like this would never occur. Moving on to the negative part, Captain Stefan Rasmussen was too traumatized by the event that he lacked the confidence to pilot a plane and never did so again. In conclusion, one may now ask, who was at fault? Could it have been the captain who did not check for himself if the wings were clear of the ice? Or maybe it was the manufacturer's fault, who placed the engines of the plane behind the wings allowing it to be susceptible to such a mishap. The manufacturers also did not inform the pilots of the auto thrust restoration system. Or does it fall on the management of Scandinavian Airlines for not providing the equipment to do proper safety checks? I leave you to think of who was at fault and how this incident could have been avoided.